I didn't know anybody who worked in the office. Everybody worked at like McDonald's, a fast food place. Nothing serious. I knew one day I had to get a behind the desk job. I was always wondering what it'd be like. So when I heard about UrbanAlliance, I was willing to take that opportunity.
People are skeptical about what you can do in 1 year with a 17-year-old, and I think that we're demonstrating that we really can meet these young people at a crossroads in their lives and make a massive difference to the path they choose.
I'm nervous. I mean, I think I did good. Like, my interview went well, and I came every day, so I think I should do good. I'm confident that I'm getting the job, but I don't want to be too sure, so I don't get disappointed.
A lot of the misconceptions are that there's a lot of difference between the youth of DC and youth elsewhere, and there's really not. They've seen and been through a lot, but for the most part, they're pretty average teenagers, and the only thing that's setting them apart is opportunity.
When the students typically come to us, the majority of the young girls, their aspirations is to braid hair. And a majority of the young men, they want to drive a Metro bus because that's the exposure.
When I was doing the initial due diligence, amazingly enough, there was nothing really. I said there must be 10 of these programs out there, and there weren't. There weren't programs that hooked kids up with both the job and the mentoring.
If you've done everything you were supposed to do in order to graduate from your senior year, you can end classes at around 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. But the issue was there was nowhere for the young people to go. So what we've decided at UrbanAlliance is to take advantage of that opportunity, and we'd like to employ them and show them what's possible in their careers.
We take them through, and we're observing, we're teaching, we're providing prep work for them to enter the job sites that we partner and we share with. It's almost like those unspoken or unwritten rules that they kind of have to know. Everybody else knows. It's never taught. It hasn't been taught anywhere, but it's just things that people expect for you to know.
I heard the cutest voicemail. Somebody's little cousin. Hi, sis, such and such. Mike is not here right now. Leave him a message. That is adorable. But is it professional? No.
UrbanAlliance actually sits there and explains everything to you. And when they explain the process and the steps and how hard it is to get a job, then that's when you sit there and listen.
For me, success is a young person feeling by the end of the year with us that they have a vision of what they want to do in their lives. They feel confident that they know what they need to do to get there, and they feel like they have the ongoing support from us to do that. If you just give kids the support, they can do an unbelievable amount with very little, and that's what's amazed me all these years.
I started all living with my mother until I was like 8. Then I moved with my Aunt Niecy, who lived in DC. I lived with her until about 11. Then I moved with my aunt that lived out in Maryland for a year, which was 12. Then I moved back with my mother for a year. I moved back with my aunt for the rest of the years. And then I moved back with my mother when I was in 11th grade. And then I moved with my best friend's mother my 12th grade year.
Rashad is really energetic, and he is very charismatic. He's not interested in having people think of him as smart. He's a basketball player, and he's cool, and that's the reputation he has and he wants at school.
Hanging in DC around the wrong people, you get caught up. Like, that's the biggest thing, selling drugs and stealing. Like, I seen a lot of that. Kids younger than me. Was it possible? Yes, it was possible. Then I could have also went down that road because, I mean, my mother was there, but she wasn't always there. So, like, we didn't have enough money to get all the things that I wanted.
If you look at the pattern of that kind of behavior, and if you look at the statistics for urban males who don't take school seriously, like the outcomes aren't generally very good.
Being on time and doing what I needed to do, it's kind of different. Instead of being goofy all the time and not getting anything done.
Rashad has a strong work ethic, but by being at Morgan Stanley, it's completely set him in a new direction. I think he sees options that he didn't know he had before, and how realistic those options actually are. He kind of is finally starting to realize that he doesn't have to portray this image of being this guy who doesn't care, and that he actually wants to be a guy who does care.
With the kids who think it's not cool to be smart, you have to relate to what they're saying every day, because a lot of kids coming out their door, they don't see what you see when you walk out your door. They have to worry about, am I in with the in crowd? Am I going to get beat up today? Am I going to get robbed? Do I have enough money for school?
I think there are aspects of post-traumatic stress that, there's an enormous amount of death, there's an enormous amount of violence, there's a lot of neglect and abuse in the lives of these young people by the time we meet them. And the results of this are really quite profound in terms of how they see the world and how they deal with stress and strains and challenges.
Some people can walk past the liquor store every morning that has nothing but drug dealers who they look up to. Some people walk out and they see people in suit and tie and know that's the proper thing to do.
Urban Alliance was a life-changing experience for me. They really worked with me, and they could have cut me off and said, this guy really doesn't want it, because at a certain point I didn't. But they hung in there with me, and they knew what the future could hold.
The maturity level and how they grow over 10 months will blow you away. And I think a lot of it has to do with they've never had the opportunity or given the opportunity to see the things that we take for granted every single day.
I definitely noticed like you're even more mature. I mean, like, even coming into this meeting, like, you're very reserved, but still outgoing, and like it's still you, Rashad, but you're so professional. Like, you fit in at Morgan Stanley, right? Like, it's not, you're not the high school kid walking down the hall.
I told him that, he's always on time.
Yep.
I don't have to, be like, Rashad, do this, Rashad, do that. Once I tell him to do something, he automatically, does it. We
were a little bit reserved at first as to, okay, where are the kids coming from? What are their backgrounds? How are they going to interact? But once we started to explain what the program was and how it would benefit them and the community, people really got behind it.
It's very gratifying to develop young people and to see the impact, the dramatic impact you usually see on their lives just in the course of that year.
Everybody wants to build their brand around being a good corporate citizen. Look at the big picture of this is a real low-cost way for you to have an impact in your community.
UrbanAlliance is a nonprofit, but by no means is it a charity in terms of we have 2 kids that come in here that just take up desk space. These kids work. If they didn't do the job, we would have somebody do the job that they're doing.
Part of it almost becomes a motivating factor of why so many of them go on to college and want to be successful professionals, because they've now seen what that's like, and it has a real impact on them because they don't want the alternative.
I would say for anybody who's having problems with their self-insecurity, thinking they'll never grow up mature, the workforce is not for them, who not thinking about college, UrbanAlliance open your eyes to everything. Like, give you a professional job, give you ways to save money. They throw so many opportunities at you. Good afternoon. My name is Rashad Lambert. I'm an alumni at Booker T. Washington. My job site is Morgan Stanley. The department I work in is called Operations. My primary role is to take initiative. I'm the jack of all trades. Learning something new and my mentor thanking me for a job well done are my favorite parts of the job. My biggest project?
All the students have done a great job this year, but one thing that stood out for Rashad was it jumped off the page that he had difficult situations, personally, outside of school, outside of work, but he didn't let that bother him. He applied himself. It's my pleasure to present the Mentor Excellence Award to Rashad Lambert.
When I got this scholarship, when I got that award from UrbanAlliance, I was about to cry. Me getting picked out of all those people, $2,000 scholarship, I was just like, that is a blessing. I think about it every day. I really think about it every day when I go to class. I was just like, goodness, I want a scholarship. I want a scholarship.
I mean, it shocked me by surprise, the knowing that he's going to college. He went to college, he's in college, It's a beautiful thing because I couldn't do it for him. And just knowing that there's a program out here to help people like us, it's an outstanding thing. It really is.
The main thing UrbanAlliance did for me, it helped me take the more serious things in life more serious. I feel like a man now. Like at first, I knew I was a teenager. I felt like a teenager. Now I really feel as though I'm growing up.
94% of the kids that have gone through the program are still using the bank account they got from UrbanAlliance. 96% of them are either in school or employed. Their peers, I mean, the comparison to the control group is off the charts.
At 16, you just want to be the most popular guy in high school. Yeah, they had all the girls and all that good stuff. But if you were to bring that person to me, if I could see him now, I want to know what he's doing. Right now, I'm in college. I want to know what he's doing with his life. I really want to show people that no matter where you come from, how you grow up, there's always a room for success.
Everything and everyone that can touch these kids is important, and UrbanAlliance is definitely a vehicle, that reaches kids. It reached me. Everyone needs a chance. Everyone needs a shot. And some kids have that light, and if you offer them that shot, they will exceed your expectations. So give them a chance. I think they'll surprise you.